If you've ever struggled with staying consistent or following through on your goals, this episode is for you. I'm breaking down a simple system you can follow to stay on track long after the hype wears off. Let's get into it. Step 1 is define a clear identity, not just a goal. Instead of saying, I want to achieve X, you got to flip the script and say, I want to be someone who does X consistently. This shifts your focus from the outcome to the behaviors of the kind of person who naturally achieves that outcome. So ask yourself, what does that person do every day? How do they think? How do they act? How do they treat others? How do they handle adversity? Then define that identity in detail, not just with what they achieve, but how they live. Secondly, set SMART goals. You still need targets, but they should be, and this is classic stuff, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So instead of getting in shape, go with workout 4 times per week for 30 minutes, consistently for 90 days. That's how you measure progress and build confidence. It's got to be specific. Step 3, start small. Momentum over perfection, baby. Don't try to overhaul your life overnight. It just doesn't work. You can't do it that way. You pick one small habit that aligns with the identity you're building and you commit to it. Some examples might be go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Stop drinking soda. Stretch for 5 minutes after waking up. Why? Because the small wins compound. Momentum creates consistency. Consistency creates transformation. And it's a great thing. Once you start stretching for 5 minutes after you wake up, next thing you know, you'll be doing 6. Might be doing 7. Might be doing 8. And it all depends. It's progressive. Progressive with the flow, baby. Not sponsored. Step 4 is use positive self-talk and personal accountability. So the way you talk to yourself matters a lot. A ton. This is a huge point. So speak to yourself like a mentor would to a rising version of you. When you slip up, ask yourself, is this how the best version of me acts? Would the person I'm becoming quit early here? And please avoid shame and use encouragement. Hold yourself to a high standard without beating yourself down. That is not the point. You don't want to be someone who drives themselves off of shame. But also, accountability equals power. Because you are responsible for everything that you do, that means you have the power to change everything that you do. And a quick note here on positive self-talk, there's a study, and I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to say that it's true. I saw this somewhere, and I know it's true. They talked about how when you're working out and you positively self-talk to yourself, you are far more likely to perform better in sports, activities, working out, whatever, as opposed to the opposite where you are like, this sucks, this is stupid, why am I doing this? You have more of a negative performance. And I actually put this to the test in my last marathon. I'm usually the type of person that hits the pain cave and goes, let's buckle down, baby. Let's say some crazy intense stuff to ourselves. But this time I thought to myself, I'm going to use positive self-talk. And all I did was just say the word yes and smile every time that it got hard. And honestly, I think it was a huge game changer. And this is on like a micro level. All of those day-to-day thoughts that we have, how we respond and talk to ourselves is who we are and how we grow and how well we do things. So it's super important. And I do think there is so much value in talking to yourself as in a mentor-like attitude of bringing yourself up. It's so fascinating. It's happened to me a handful of times while running where there's almost 2 sides of the self-talk that comes alive. There's the one that's like, hey, take care of me. And then there's the other one that's guiding. This hill's coming up, lay off the gas a little bit. You got a flat coming up. Let's push the gas a little bit. And there's a version of your noggin that is able to guide you and have perspective on what you're doing if you allow yourself to talk to yourself in that way, which sounds odd, but it's legit. Step 5, turn actions into habits. Then let habits run the game. Once you've defined your identity, set your goals, and built momentum, the key is repetition. over and over and over. Marshawn Lynch. Your aim is to make your target behaviors automatic. The more routine something becomes, the less effort it takes. And I know you know that because you probably have some other habits that you would like to replace with good habits. So ask yourself, what routines do I need to hardwire? What actions do I want to make instinctual? And over time, it won't feel like effort. It'll feel like who you are. And when adversity hits, those habits will carry you through. It's not like you have a bad day and you're like, you know what? I'm not brushing my teeth. F this, man. I'm not brushing my teeth. I've had a bad day. It's like, no, you're going to brush your teeth. Of course you're going to brush your teeth. It's just instinctual. Unless you're not brushing your teeth. What are you doing not brushing your teeth? This is a real problem. So to recap the consistency framework, define who you want to become, set SMART goals to guide your actions, start small to create momentum, hold yourself accountable with positive self-talk, build habits that reflect your identity. The real achievement is not the goal. It's who you become on the way to reaching the goal. If you become the kind of person who shows up, puts in the work, and keeps promises to themselves, the outcomes, they take care of themselves. If you want this exact guide with the consistency framework, it's in the show notes. Go ahead and click the link, absolutely free. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.